about a lesser sentence for his friend. And in sports, local girls basketball playoff games are tonight. Find out who has a chance to move on. Newswatch starts right now. Good evening and welcome to Newswatch, your source for all news impacting southeastern Ohio. I'm Taylor Bruck. Thank you for joining us. High rains have caused a piece of a hillside to collapse in southern West Virginia. A flood warning was issued along the Ohio River while high waters forced road closures in multiple counties on Thursday. This all according to highway officials. A rock slide covered a road in Williamson Wednesday night, which knocked over power poles and caused a minor traffic accident. The rising water levels hindered search efforts for a missing kayak in Barber County, In at least 15 of West Virginia's 55 counties, weather-related school closures or delays have occurred. A water-soaked ground caused a train derailing and fire early this morning in southern Kentucky. The train was traveling through Pike County when it hit a mudslide. The 3 locomotives and 3 cars were derailed and slid into the water below. 2 train employees were trapped on the train for about an hour after the incident. Elkhorn, Kentucky native Rod Spradlin caught this video of the accident on Facebook. Spradlin also captured video of the water rescue team when they reached the train workers. The workers were rescued and taken to the hospital for evaluation. A water intake valve downstream was shut off. A few homes in the area had to be evacuated for a short time, but have now been allowed to return home.
Hello, I'm forecaster Adlai Karwish, and right now in Athens it is 35 degrees, humidity at 79%, and it feels like 29. Winds coming from the west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So it's been a pretty okay day outside. It hasn't been raining too much, which is quite nice. It is cloudy outside, so it isn't too bad. Taking a look right now, all through southeastern Ohio, you see Chillicothe at 36, Jackson at 35, New Lexington at 34, and Ripley at 38. So all around in the mid-30s throughout the day. We head into tonight, which is 18 degrees tonight. It's going to be really cold outside. It's going to drop about 20 degrees from where we are right now. Humidity at 75%. Winds coming from the west-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. There is a slight chance for some snow flurries, which could be possible for now. And that's also, just be careful of that. Also, make sure you bring your coat. It's only going to be 18 degrees as the low tonight, which isn't going to be way too bad. And Taylor, it's just going to be a cold night and a cold day tomorrow.
Hats, gloves, parkas, get everything ready. It's going to be a cold one, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
All right, thank you, Adlai. A popular insulin pump used by patients with type 1 diabetes is being recalled. The FDA recalled is for certain Medtronic MiniMed 600 series insulin pumps. The FDA reports 1 patient died and more than 2,000 were injured by the devices. The FDA received thousands of additional complaints. The recall will take more than 300,000 devices off pharmacy shelves. The Richland Tunnel project will officially be underway in less than a month, but at an increased cost. The project is expected to cost the city of Athens less than $3 million. It's expected to begin on March 3rd and finish on September 11th of this year. The project will include a walkway under Richland Avenue between Ohio University's Porter Hall and West Green. The new walkway is hoped to help the flow of traffic while providing a safe crossing for pedestrians. Nelsonville's new interim city manager, Scott Frank, is pushing for safety in the city. In addition to supporting Nelsonville police, Frank said in a statement to the Athens Messenger, quote, "It's too comfortable for zombies here in Nelsonville. We need to find ways to get them well or get out." The Athens Messenger reported that Frank's zombie comment referred to the homeless or drug-addicted people of Nelsonville. A former Ohio football player pleaded guilty to 1 fourth-degree felony count of menacing by stalking Friday in Athens County Common Pleas Court. The Athens News reports Amir Miller was arrested earlier this month for stalking and violating a protection order. Multiple charges were dropped against him as part of a plea agreement, including a first-degree misdemeanor count of permitting drug abuse. Miller also agreed to enter into the prosecutor's office diversion program as part of the plea agreement. The 2 former Ohio State University football players charged with rape appeared in court today. Defensive backs Amir Reap and Jocelyn Wint, both 21, were booked into jail on Wednesday. This after they were charged with sexually assaulting a woman on February 4th at the players' shared apartment. The players were charged with rape and kidnapping. They appeared in court today where the judge delivered their bond instructions.
Conditions of bond, No future acts of violence or threats of violence against anyone. You'll stay away from the individual named ST with the initials and stay away from the co-defendant. That means no contact by mail, by email, by telephone, text, in person, and by third party. No communications to or about the victim via social media.
Ohio State football head coach Ryan Day dismissed Amir Reep and Jocelyn Wind from the program yesterday. In a statement, Day said, quote, "I am not making any statement on the criminal charges, but it is clear they did not live up to our standards and my expectations." Day did not comment further due to the ongoing investigation. Governor Mike DeWine released a new bill amid the reduction of distracted driving. The new Hands-Free Ohio bill would strengthen state laws regarding driving while using wireless devices such as smartphones. If signed into law, handling any electronic device while driving would become a primary offense. Some of the offenses include writing, sending or reading texts, watching or recording videos, and taking photos or looking at images while driving. The Ohio House passed legislation that could help first responders deal with trauma. The bill would provide workers' comp for PTSD suffered by firefighters and police. The bill's advocates say first responders are exposed to traumatic events on a daily basis. Getting workers' comp benefits may help prevent suicide among firefighters and cops. The bill now moves on to the Ohio Senate. Athens and 6 other cities in Ohio have already banned conversion therapy. Now lawmakers are proposing a bipartisan bill to make the conversion therapy illegal for minors statewide. Both doctors and social workers advise against the therapy. More than 20 Democrats and 2 Republicans have signed onto the bill. The guardians of children exposed to drugs before birth are among the group of plaintiffs suing over the opioid crisis. Babies with neonatal abstinence syndrome experience symptoms of withdrawal in the days and weeks after birth. Their attorneys blame drug companies for the addiction crisis that caused many mothers to use drugs while pregnant. These attorneys want the drug industry to pay for the treatment and studies of how the opioid drug exposure affects children. Ohio's most populous county is reaching record high drug overdose deaths. Franklin County experienced 10 overdose deaths in one day. The large number of deaths is forcing hospitals to hold on to the dead. The Franklin County Coroner's Office is considering opening a second morgue. While other counties throughout the state have experienced a decrease in overdose deaths, Franklin County has not. Between 2018 and 2019, the area saw a 10% increase in overdose deaths. Lawmakers in both Ohio and Kentucky may be changing who can use medical marijuana. 2 of the medical conditions rejected for inclusion in the Ohio's medical marijuana control program last year are getting another chance this year. An Ohio State Medical Board committee will once again consider anxiety and autism spectrum disorder as conditions for which marijuana could be recommended to patients. The committee will also consider new information provided on cachexia, a wasting disease that causes patients to lose weight. In all, a list of 27 conditions were submitted for consideration, including one for being a Bengals or Browns fan. As Ohioans work to add to existing legislation, Kentucky is getting on board with legalizing medical marijuana. A bill that would allow the legalization of marijuana for medical use passed through a Kentucky legislative committee. This bill would permit doctors to prescribe marijuana for various medical conditions. The legislation would allow the creation of a system to grow, sell, and use marijuana products. The bill would not allow the marijuana plant to be smoked. Coming up, President Trump criticizes the sentencing of his friend Roger Stone, and Sudan will pay $30 million in reparations to the families of the 2000 USS Cole attack. These stories and more when NewsWatch returns.
So, do you know what coronavirus is?
No.
For people like 6-year-old Mara, the coronavirus doesn't exist, and it's easy to enjoy the simple things in life. For people like 3-year-old Aiden, one of his favorite things to do is just take a walk with his dad.
Big black.
Well, that and
Hey, Trace.
in a time where all kids can do is play, they're loving the chance to be with their families. Mara is just excited to do the normal things.
I can have fun with them and play games, schoolwork.
She is, however, taking time to learn a new skill.
Just so I could know how to ride my bike. So when I'm ready to take my training wheels off.
And just like the rest of us, Martin and Aiden are missing the social interactions that come with not being at home.
Can you tell them what you've been up to?
I've seen my teachers and my friends. Gigi, my best friend now.
Take it from kids. This is a change. But if we keep going outside and doing the things we love, it can make it a lot easier. For News at Noon in Columbus, Ohio, I'm Zenobia Chris. As we approach the third week of the stay-at-home order, community worship places like the one behind me are empty as the holiday season nears. Despite being unable to worship with others, people are finding comfort in online resources during this confusing time.
For me, like, so much of Judaism is like community, and like not being able to like be with my community right now is really, really hard, especially when things are like so uncertain and like so anxiety inducing. It is nice to like still feel supported from afar.
Lily said that many Hillel centers all over the country are offering Torah classes through Zoom, live stream cooking classes, and grab-and-go Seder meals. Communities continuing to come together is important for all faiths, as in-person Catholic masses and worship services for Protestant denominations and Muslim worship have also halted. People are finding other ways to continue their weekly involvement.
So we decided to start going online through Zoom and just like hosting virtual youth groups, just a lot of fun, and like still being able to connect with those like really important communities in our lives.
And as some of the most important holidays approach for many faiths, resources all over the country are making services available.
Normally it's like a big deal that you like gather with lots of people for Passover, but just gonna be me and my dad, probably doing something through Zoom.
Our family is live streaming Mass from our church, so our priest is setting up all the equipment he needs and saying the Mass and offering it for all of us.
With social distancing guidelines expected to last another month, it is important to maintain a routine and stay social.
Good afternoon and welcome to News at Noon, a weekly Facebook report of news affecting Ohio. I'm your Central Ohio correspondent, Zenobia Chris. As of Wednesday, March 23rd, there are 704 confirmed cases of coronavirus in Ohio. In his daily press conference, Governor Mike DeWine announced that 182 people have been hospitalized, 75 of which are in intensive care. He also announced that 116 health care workers are now infected with the virus. And as the number of confirmed cases grows, so is the list of symptoms. Doctors are warning that loss of taste or smell may be a symptom of COVID-19. Ear, nose, and throat doctors are warning that some patients who tested positive for the virus experienced only one symptom, a loss or muted sense of smell or taste. As the virus develops, Ohio lawmakers are taking big strides to protect their people. In a unanimous decision, the Senate passed a bill that would provide emergency relief for Ohioans. The bill will support Ohioans as they are potentially barred from work and interrupted in their studies. Some of the services the bill makes possible are water services will not be cut off. It removes barriers to unemployment compensation, waives standardized testing, K through 12, and ensures seniors will graduate. As individuals struggle with the consequences of the coronaviruses, so do small businesses. Some businesses could be facing closures and some people could be without a job due to the coronavirus pandemic, but help is on the way. Earlier this week, the Franklin County Commission approved $1 million in spending to aid the issue. $500,000 will be spent towards keeping small businesses afloat. The remaining $500,000 will be divided into incentive payments for out-of-work residents who complete training or additional certifications for their jobs. Unemployment rates continue to climb. News at Noon reporter Andrea Robinson talked to one Columbus native who is even struggling to file for benefits at this time.